Hi Scripps families, Miss Heather here. I'm going to show you how to prepare a tray of work for your children. One of the biggest differences between a Montessori classroom and a home environment is that in the classroom we have work prepared on trays that children can take independently, do the work, and then return it for another child to do. I'm going to show you how you might prepare a pasting tray. For this, the first thing we have to do is figure out what kind of tray we would use. And I was trying to think about the things that we might commonly have in our house, and I came across one of these very cool takeout boxes. What's nice about this is it's child-sized, and it has a little bit of a lip, so it's going to hold all of the material in it. For pasting, we usually have two different jars. We have a jar that holds the paste, the glue. In the classroom, we commonly use these little honey jars, but I didn't have an open honey jar, so I'm going to use a small Tupperware. And what I like about this is that it integrates what they learned in boxes and bottles and puts it in another activity. So for this activity, they have to practice opening and closing the jar. I'll put that in our tray. We also like to have another small jar for snippets. This was a candle, and after I used the candle, I cleaned it out. And here we have our little pieces of paper cut from the cutting work. We call those snippets. The children usually use three different tools. One tool that they use is a small pencil. I like these pencils that come with, golf carts or when you go mini golf. We like to use small pencils because we want to discourage children grabbing the whole pencil with their hand. So if you don't have a small pencil, you can use scissors or utility knife to cut the end off this pencil. So it makes it a nice small pencil that they can be encouraged to use. Same thing with a paintbrush. This was a long paintbrush. I had a full handle, and I used a utility knife to cut it off. And then I can just sand the end with sandpaper, or if you don't have sandpaper, a little emery board. Again, it's to encourage the child to use that pencil grip when they're holding the paintbrush rather than using their whole hand. This material also uses a kind of stick to lift or pry the paper up. In Dr. Montessori's original presentation, she used an awl, so you can use an awl. A lot of our classrooms instead have chosen to use orange sticks or the kinds of etching sticks that we have. Another thing that you can do is take a good old-fashioned chopstick, and just like the other ones, we can cut it and sand it and use it as a kind of tool to help pry up paper. The ultimate goal in teaching them to paste a particular way is to try to help them learn to paste without getting glue on their fingers. Last thing, this material usually has three different kinds of paper. It has a colorful paper for the children to apply the snippets to. It has a paper that's larger than that, used as a protector to keep the table clear of glue. And then a small piece of paper that we'll put the snippets on and that we'll also use to clean the paintbrush. So now that you have your tray prepared, you are able to just put this on a shelf and encourage your child to take it as they are working on their project. I'm going to show you now how we're going to clean up the material so you can support your child in being independent in cleaning up after themselves. So your child has finished making their collage, and the first thing we want to do is invite them to put it someplace to dry. It'd be great to think about a place in your home where they can leave it to dry on a counter, or if you have a little drying rack, they can put it to dry on. Next, we want to encourage them to clean the brush. This is only a very little bit of glue, but sometimes the children have quite a bit of glue left on the brush. And we want them to wash the brush at the sink, but if they carry it this way, it will make a big mess. So we teach them to fold the paper and squeeze out the excess glue on the brush. Now we can carry this brush to the sink and rinse it. We can return materials to the tray. Invite the child to put the top on the snippets, to put back the stick, the pencil, the clean brush. My brush is not clean. The clean brush. You can ask them, does this paper look clean? Some children manage to paste and leave it very clean. If they do, you can return it to the tray. This one will not be clean, so they would carry this one to the trash. When they're done, they can return the tray to the shelf, and you can put a new piece of paper and a new small paper for the next day.